Natasha knows. Natasha knows. You know what it is. Natasha knows. Hi, welcome back to the Natasha Knows Show. I'm your host, Natasha P. Knows. Today's guest, I have Syed. He is a retiree who has taken a childhood hobby and love for photography to a whole new level. He captures the beauty and essence of his photos and brings each picture to life through his drawings. Please join me in welcoming Syed.
Thank you. Thank you for having me at the show here.
Yes, thank you for
do
being a
appreciate
guest.
that. And probably I'll talk about some of the things in the questions. And I've been started this art probably is, when I was 8 years old. I lost my father at that age.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
And that's the time I tried to distract my something away from that stress. So I started doing the painting, the art and sketching. And that was I developed mostly my art skills there, and mostly because of I'm coming from Indian culture, there's no support on the art now. The parents they want you just to study, be a doctor or engineer, and mostly my art was a skill was like taking the the art from like the history books.
So wait, let's back up. So you started drawing at the age of 8, or
Yeah.
were you drawing before 8?
No, I was not that 7, 8 at the age.
7,
And
8.
I was doing little interest in art, but got more interest in like pencil and historical books, looking at those things.
What inspired you to get into art and to become an artist at
Yeah.
that early age when your parents and your mom wanted you to be a doctor and
Yes.
things like that?
No, probably as like in a history book, I see a lot of like pencil sketching of some of the historical people, like freedom fighters and kings, and also I started doing sketching. Then I got better on that, and at that age, I mean, like even my brother said, like, yeah, doing pretty good now. But
Yeah, I was gonna
you have to
ask
stay away from the parent, not like you're not. But even born in a small town, small country life, there's no like art school. There's nothing there. No. It's just beautiful nature. That's
Yeah, I was
going
gonna
to
say India is a very beautiful,
very beautiful. That's
country. Yeah.
very artistic people there. So I developed that art skill, but because of the pressure from the family, there was not much freedom there at the time.
That was one of my questions. I didn't want to cut you off. How many siblings do you have?
3 brothers and 2 sisters.
So-
3 sisters, I'm sorry, 3 sisters and 2 brothers.
Okay, so out of all of your siblings, how many are doctors? If you
No,
don't
they're
mind me
all,
asking.
no, they're all scientists now.
They're all scientists,
The
okay.
one who worked for Sikorsky, my nephew is a dentist, and even my kids, I had 2 boys.
Okay.
They live in Pittsburgh. I try to send them the medical. They don't like the medical. They like more business. So
Okay. Okay.
sometimes you plan something in the future. I mean, like I'm in the childhood now. So.
Yeah.
But I majored in chemistry on that.
Now, I only asked that because you said that it wasn't like, I don't want to say that you were rebellious against your parents, but you went against the grain, so to speak, and instead of becoming a doctor, you, like you said, you would draw and things like that. And my question as to why, how many brothers or sisters you had was because I was wondering how many of you all became doctors.
They're all educated. Good,
Right,
like
as
I
you
had
stated.
I had a major in chemistry to be a doctor, but sometimes the things doesn't happen when they grow up. No, you distract many things.
Right,
In
right.
childhood, that was my goal, but I spent a lot of time in like studies and other things.
So before we touch upon like your paintings and get into that whole the history behind like your photography and your drawings and things like that, talk to viewers a little bit about your chemistry background and things like that, and your work history. Because to my understanding, you used to work as like a scientist, or
No,
if you
mostly
will.
I started as a company called in Connecticut as a chemist. Then I become research director for the company. Then mostly my background is all lightweight composite. I mean, like
Where you were
carbon
making army helmets
the
and
army
stuff. Talk to
helmets
us
from
about
yeah,
that.
those started with aircraft, like structure of the aircraft, like Sikorsky, Boeing. We do the structure of the aircraft interior. Then I got more in the helmet, like all the U.S. military helmets I worked for the last 20 years, 25 years.
Wow.
My job was to designing lightweight, like body armor, for example. Is it lighter, is it better?
So is body armor, is it safe to say like bulletproof vests and things like that?
Bulletproof vest.
Military-wise or
military
for
and law
police as
enforcement,
well?
the
And
police
law
and law
enforcement,
enforcement.
wow, okay.
I did like to,
What are, excuse me, because it's so interesting. I don't want to miss anything. So by you making these bulletproof vests and things like that, I always was intrigued by the fact of the material that they're made out of. It's not just metal. It's
no,
like
there's no
special
metal there. Because of the weight. My bag was all like polymers, composite fibers.
polymers.
I work with for example, the supplier. Any new technology, I'm involved in that technology.
So for the non-chemist, can you break down what chemicals or what type of product
Yeah, for example,
is in the vest?
there's one fiber
say
called polyethylene fiber, which is the same chemistry as your plastic bags and garbage bags,
Okay.
but it's more lighter. It's made by the company. I used to call Allied Signal. They make all the Spectra, and they came with the fishing line with that fiber because the breaking strength is very high. So same technology, they use a composite for armoring, which is much lighter, but there's a fiber, like a regular fabric, and also there's chemistry, the polymers, to make the shapes, for example, for helmets.
Now, how does it harden though? Like, how does it get hard?
use the
Or how
polymer.
does it stop a bullet?
No, this,
You know,
for example, you're making like laminate like this, or hard.
Okay.
Sometimes the hard is not good. You need some flexible rubberized. The helmets, they have like 18, 20 layers of the material.
Wow.
And
That's a lot of chemicals.
The layer, like sheets. Like you have like paper sheets, you have like 18 layers.
Oh, okay.
But still a lighter weight composite. That was my background, to design something lighter. I've done some work for Navy, like Lockheed Martin. I worked for supplied material. I've done some work for the helicopter, somebody like shoot from the ground. I work on those projects.
Okay.
I used to have the security clearance on the Army for radar material. So those are all my background.
Yeah.
If somebody come with a new design for one of our CEO from Westinghouse, he asked to build like a container blast protection. So I went and designed that, just the knowledge. And
So do you miss doing that?
yeah, I used to do. That's my goal in future. That's why I want to get in my own business into doing those things now.
Right.
That's my future goal.
Okay.
I've done for other people, so I want to do it myself. I've done some consulting for a big company. Like one of the companies, they're looking for F-16 ejecting seats. I helped them to design that product.
Okay. Well, hold that thought. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices.
Like your text-to-emoji ratio.
Oh man, the selfies. Selfies. Nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Hi, welcome back to the Natasha Knows Show. I'm your host, Natasha P. Knows, and today's guest I have Syed. So we were just getting ready to talk about your artistry and the photography and just like the things that you do that's so amazing to me. That's like it's a hobby for you. Do you care to explain it?
Yes,
and explain some of the photos that's behind us?
In the past, I didn't have much time because I was doing a lot of like traveling and business, international, global, and I always take my camera with me, taking a lot of the historical places like Prague and Hungary and all those countries. I take a lot of beautiful shots.
So you almost like stumbled upon
I take all the time. Like I've been to Australia. I take a lot of mostly the nature and the birds and animals. And then I bring those photographs and start painting, but I didn't have the time. Maybe every 2 years, every 3 years, I do one painting. So, and I got in a car accident last year. They had given me some time to stay home, and I'm still doing some consulting, but I start more painting. So I think that my art skill is coming out.
Well, how are you feeling now? Are you
much
okay?
better, yes,
Good,
very active. But this gave me a good opportunity. This was always my goal was to doing like camera photographs, and
Yeah.
I done a lot of the like weddings and for the people to help people like family and friends.
Yeah.
I love taking nature photographs. Every time I travel, I take a lot of nature photographs. I see the beauty of the nature.
I see it in your painting. So, do you care to explain the painting with the horse that you took in Hattiesburg, Pennsylvania?
I was driving back to visit my boys in Pittsburgh, going through Hattiesburg. There's a lot of Amish community there.
Yeah.
So I went to a gas station. I saw this. So then I took a shot. I mean, this the horse. So I took that picture and brought those back and started doing the painting.
Yeah.
I have probably lost within few months.
Excuse me. You know the Amish community, they don't take photos. They let you take a photo of their horse.
I was driving. I took it from my car and.
I'm just teasing.
You know what I mean? He said
but honestly, I'm surprised. Well, I knew if you probably walked upon them, they
Oh, no,
probably
they
wouldn't
didn't.
allowed you to
Yeah,
take
no.
a photo of even the horse, because that's a beautiful horse.
But I lived in
I can only-
20 years in Pennsylvania with Amish community, so
Oh,
I'm very
okay.
famous in a small
So
town.
you're familiar with
the
the
Amish
Amish
community.
Yeah. Okay.
And then this one painting was I took in San Diego,
San Diego.
California, because I used to live in San Diego. And I used to work for a company called Easton Build. They make NFL football helmets, so I was technical director for the company.
Oh wow.
And commute to the Mexico every day to Tijuana, Mexico. So I always have camera with me every day.
Wow.
Take photographs. See.
And how long is that? Is that
The
drive?
commute is not that bad. I mean, like crossing, coming in back to U.S. is
Yeah.
that takes a long time
Right.
through the immigration thing.
So do you care to kind of talk to us a little bit about
This is taken in they call La Jolla, the beach area.
La Jolla.
This is actually the restaurant.
Oh, okay.
I had mostly I take like 4x6 photographs, and from there I do the art thing.
So 4x6 is like
The small
usually
things,
it's really
yes,
small,
yes,
yeah.
yeah.
And then you kind of elongate everything. So
Elongate
do you
detail.
add details? I'm
Yeah,
sure to
more
the
detail. I'm very detail oriented in
Yeah.
art now, and for me, like modern art, technology, I'm not that in. I believe in this kind of art. I've done a lot of portraits. A lot of my friends in my college have done the portraits. I'm pretty good in the portrait drawing portraits and.
if you can coin a phrase of what type of artist you are, what would you say the type of artist you are? Because you're a photographer, and then you take your photos, and then you actually paint the photos. And to me, looking at your drawings, excuse me, they look like a photograph.
Yeah, that's why I think a lot of comments I got from my family and friends
Yeah,
is like
they're
they look
beautiful.
like very 3D.
Yes,
like
yeah,
coming out.
3D,
And
yeah.
Most of my paintings are like that, very detailed to bring some art thing there.
So what kind of artist or photographer if you can put the two together?
I don't know. I'm just
What would
still
best
in,
describe you?
I'm still in learning stage. I want to maybe meet a lot of like good artists in the field, good photographers, and this give me the chance. This is all done. It's mostly in the last 3-4 months. I'm coming out. With a lot
Really?
of, I've done probably 15, 20 paintings now. So
Wow.
I'm really.
Within 3 to 4 months?
Yeah.
So one painting, like the one with the horse, how long did that painting
probably
take you?
3 days.
Just 3 days?
Yeah.
Wow.
If I do mostly like portraits, like mostly oil painting, it takes longer, but I'm pretty good in coming with the texture and the colors and reality.
So all of your paintings are oil? Because I kind of like, as a hobby, I kind of draw a little bit too. I did this Buddha, not to get off subject, but I did a picture of Buddha that I saw online, on social media. It took me, I'm embarrassed to say, it took me like almost 5 months to finish that one painting. And it's not not nearly as detail oriented as your painting.
These are mostly the most painting. I listen to old Indian classic music, like sound music, and just concentrate on that now. So,
So
sit
that's
there.
like your
healing. The
kinda-
healing is
right,
more
right.
healing from the stress and everything.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I cut you off, but what type of paints and stuff? You said oil,
I had done the
oil-based
oil. I had
paints?
done these are some of them acrylics. I done
Acrylic,
the pencil sketching. I had done very well in pencil. I never done the charcoal, but I want to get in charcoal. And
Charcoal, yeah. That's really messy.
yeah, the charcoal is messy,
Yes.
but
Now, do you, because as I stated, I also draw from time to time. What do you use as like a sealant? Because I find that
I
the
use
glossy sealant is
then
not,
I
it's
try to
not
use
really
like semi-glossy. This doesn't have any glossy.
No, it's not
there's
glossy.
none, because
That's
I
why
use
I
like
asked.
semi-glossy. I have not used any protection for these photographs.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you were to use the protection, you said semi-gloss?
Yeah, semi-gloss and photos. Yeah.
Okay,
That's-
gotcha.
I know.
I know in one of the paintings that I did, because these are canvas,
These
right?
are the
big-
canvas painting. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
when I used the gloss, it kind of smeared the paint, and it took away from it. So I said I need to kind of like focus or concentrate on finding something that's either more expensive, like, or just get away from the shiny base sealant. So.
And I do a lot of like photographs, those for like weddings and everything. And enlarge those photographs, give them as a gift to the people. But I want to get in more in photograph also, like thinking like.
So you want to do more photography as well, yeah. Okay, well, hold that thought. We're going to go take another quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Okay. Thank you.
$150 over $90.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a stroke are far from invisible or silent. If you've come off your treatment plan, get back on it or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Hi, welcome back to the Natasha Knows Show. I'm your host, Natasha P. Knows, and today's guest I have Syed. Who was just about to explain to us about the artwork that he has and the frames. So are the frames custom frames?
They're
or
almost custom made frames there.
So they're wood frames and things
frames,
like that?
Yeah, like the
they're
wood
really
frames,
beautiful.
yes,
And how do you come up with choosing the frames for each
No, I
photo?
think it has to have color match to the painting to make sure it's the right match. Otherwise, sometimes you have like a black color, it may not match. You might have brown color. So I had to pick the right color to give the better like 3D effect on the painting.
Yes, and you really nailed it, because the picture that's up now with the birds and things like that, this frame is beautiful. It doesn't take away from the picture. It brings the picture more out.
That's also the other painting with my kittens now. Those are kittens.
Yeah, and the kittens are beautiful.
Those are actual mine now when they had it.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I took the photograph and done the painting of that now.
Yeah. Wow. So, but of course they're not that small. That's small
they're
anymore.
like a couple of years back.
Yeah. So I always do a pop-up question, or not always, but sometimes I do. So being that Earth Day was on Sunday, this past Sunday, how do you celebrate Earth Day, and if you celebrate it at all?
Yeah, I think like that was because like plastic, I had a lot of plastic background. That's why I see a lot of the problems in this country or any other countries, like plastic, garbage and everything. The way I feel like most of all the plastic containers, plastic bags, I think you can say the recycle is only like 30% or 35%.
Yeah.
All the plastic goes in dumpsters.
Right.
So I think these things we had to start from like from your home, teaching kids, little kids, on the plastic, garbage, and all those things.
Yes, that's important.
Sometimes our life is so busy now, and the parents are busy with the new technology, with cell phones and things.
Yeah.
Things are changing, so we don't have proper teaching to the kids so they can follow the cleanup, like garbage, because they dump all those things in the garbage container.
And the electronics too, the cell phones, all of that.
The computers.
Computers, yeah.
Still, they don't know, they're just crushing those and throwing those.
Now, let me ask you this. Could you use like those, can you recycle those things?
I had the technology, for example, plastic bottles and milk bottles, for example, garbage bags. You can recycle, make the substrate like decking material. Like
for your decks and things like that?
Decks, I think, for like picnic tables.
Picnic tables,
I had a couple of chemistry background. I can modify that to give a very strong mechanical strength on those.
Wow.
Like the bridges, things, you can use those rails and all those things.
Yeah.
That's what my goal was in future, is to come with that kind of technology.
That would be great. I'm pretty
use
sure.
A lot of, like even garbage from the farming, they use a lot of like plastic container, plastic bags.
Yeah.
They just throw in the garbage. So it's better to bring those and clean it and
But
cycle it.
who would have ever, who would have ever known that you could utilize those plastics to make like decks and make picnic tables at
There's a
in the
technology.
parks and things
There's
like
a
that?
technology now, but a lot of people has it just buy, and there's no strength in that because I have like
Right.
fiber background with the helmets and all those things. I can improve the properties. That was my future goal, to start that kind of a business now.
Yeah, maybe you can
Manufacturing.
start a Kickstarter or something
Yeah,
like that.
that was my
you
goal,
know?
is to start. I always dream starting a recycling business.
Yeah,
Actually, it's not
yeah.
recycling. You make like different stuff, crush it, and you can make like auto parts, for example, out of that same chemistry.
Wow, wow. Yeah, because the cars and things like that are made of like fiberglass, right?
fiberglass,
Yeah,
yes,
well, the
yes.
new cars are. The old cars weren't made of fiberglass. You know, you can have a car accident, and I don't have any wood to knock on, but if you were to get into an accident, your likelihood of your survival was
I think
greater then.
Yeah, this country, we had to be a very good example for other countries. And
Yes,
the pollution, all
I
this in
agree.
other countries, the other thing is bad. No, I travel other Asian countries, other countries, but I think if we had to be a good example of this country.
Yeah, yeah. So your thoughts or opinion rather is that we need to look into how to
Utilize those.
utilize that more so and break down how we can kind of. If it were left up to me, I would do away with plastic. Period, because it's you can't break it down like you said. It just
No,
ends up in the dumpster or it ends up in the sea and
Yeah,
things
there's a lot
like
of things.
that.
I mean, because misuse people.
Yeah.
If we have all the community people and we all work together as a team, I think we can resolve those problems. Sometimes like people, some like careless, and
Yeah.
so it's better has it from the teaching from the childhood for the kids, or
Yes,
the future
yeah.
kids.
That's so true. So tell us, if you can give us some words of advice. Can you offer us some words of advice of how, say for instance, someone has a hobby that may be watching and they
Yeah, I think-
don't know how to kind of start
Yeah, I
doing
think
their
the
hobby.
one advice, I mean, like the life is too short, I think, because sometimes you have something ideas like you want to do something.
Yeah.
You better do it than delaying like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll start next year.
Right.
If you have something in your heart and in mind, you want to do like art or something, those are definitely. And mostly what I see today with the technology changing, with cell phones and all those things, and the kids, I rather have parents like us
Right.
spending time with the kids. Different things like project, for example, home project. So you can build up those bonds between the parents and the
Yes.
love and affection. But today, I think with the cell phone technology is changing all those things. you know,
Yeah,
so,
yeah, that's so true. I know when your kids may be a little bit older. I have a college student. I don't. Are you,
Yeah,
any
that's-
of your children
yeah,
in college
yeah.
still?
No, they're done the college.
They're
now,
done, right, because you said they're doctors. Duh. My kid is in college, and every time he texts me, it's like an acronym, and my response is not like, it's not like we're conversating. My text back is, what does that mean, or what does this mean, or what does that mean? So I definitely agree with that. That spending more time
With
in the
other kids, I
home
mean,
and
because of
going out.
the value of the family, the culture, those
Yeah.
things is going away from that. And I advise my kids, my grandkids, like you have to love each other and affection.
Yes, that's
Those
important.
things, no.
That's very important. So, before we wrap up, I would love for you to tell our viewers your next art show, if you're going to have one.
Yeah, I'm
or-
taking part in Paterson. There's an art factory there. They're going to have some kind of art show sometime in June 8th, 8th to 10. And I'm representing it in Prime myself in the library for September.
Okay.
For the
Do
whole
you
month.
know the date in September?
September, for the whole month, I'll be displaying in the library, Paramus
And
library.
Paramus here?
Library, yes,
Okay.
for the whole month.
That is great.
So that's why I want to expose, and for the public, like I like to get any advice. I mean, like any ideas on the plastic recycling,
Yeah.
and also in art, some technique. I can provide my phone number and email,
Okay.
those things. No problem.
I think I may know a gentleman. He's in the process. He actually he's big on like the universe and Earth and all of the betterment of kind of mankind, so to speak. He helped raise awareness on underage smoking, underage tobacco smoking. Yeah, and he's currently working on a plastic project right now to do away with plastics. I think in I don't want to say Pennsylvania. He told me the state, but I can't think of it now, and forgive me. But he said in one state they passed a law where you can't utilize plastic at all. It's against the law. So he's trying to bring that here to New Jersey, where New Jersey, will do away with plastic bags and stuff too. So I can definitely link you up with this gentleman.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
So-
anyone has anything, like you can reach me at like 814-494-6667. That is my phone number.
Okay. And do you have any websites or anything
No,
like that?
I'm trying to
Not yet?
stop it. I can give my email
That's
is
not a
like
problem.
sayedphotograph.arts@gmail.com.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being a
Oh,
guest
thank you
on the
for
Natacha
thank
No
you for the show, and thank you for the crew. I'd like to thank you them also.
And showing the viewers your cool art.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
photography.
Give me the opportunity.
Yep, you're so welcome. Thank you again for tuning in to the Natacha No Show. I hope you come back.